Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.
Well, hello, and welcome to my Whiskey Den, your favorite public access whiskey review show where craft whiskey is king. We haven't done this in a long time, but I'm going to throw it up here and see if Mike can remember this. Mike, what do we use to kick your way at this moment?
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification to find out when new episodes are coming out. Share, interact in the chat here. If you're watching us live, please interact in the chat. If you got questions, we love to answer them. If you're watching us after the fact, put some questions or answers or anything you have down below. We love to talk to the people.
That is true. And it is. And Facebook, I reloaded you. You're giving StreamYard some fits. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg and them are having issues. So if you're watching on the face space, I hope it's working.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Is that him? Is he?
This dead lizard stare.
Like, that is him, right? I'm like, I know he's listening, but
listening
whatever.
From his base in the center of the earth.
So we're sorry, Facebook
all the other
people,
reptilians.
if you're not getting this right now. But thank you, everyone in the chat, for stopping in. I see Eli. I see the Ewalds. I see Mike's hiding out there. You're even out there. Neil's out there. Good to see you. Kevin, Renita, awesome. And Emily was the first one in this, wrenching up the like. So go ahead, do that. And we are having one hell of a show this evening. I can't believe I was a little down for a second. I'm ramping back up because the question is this the best sample kill show this week? Is it? I mean, you people are going to have to be the judge and then tell people. So what one of these are we going to start with? That's the question.
I'm starting with coffee right now because we've got some friends that are cranking out some coffee beans coming up, and I got to smell those this weekend. They've just been dumped from the barrel, and they're freaking amazing. So everybody out there, you coffee freaks, watch out for Stave and Bean, John Waddell, and Corey. They've got a fantastic business. These things are about to hit, so watch for the coffees.
Yes.
Oh, so did you get to sneak any out of there?
I did not get to sneak any out, but I got my face all up in those beans, and they smelled amazing. Right,
you get your face
coming
all up in those
out
beans.
of rye barrels, bourbon barrels,
Let's give it a little shake.
Curacao. I mean, just you think of it, it's they were awesome. Yeah.
How was the Curacao? You know, that's the one I'm interested in.
It smelled amazing. Smelled amazing. That's all I'm going to
right,
say. Can't wait to. Yeah.
I didn't know if Eli meant just rub it in like it hurt that you were telling us about it, or just take the bean and really just smear it on your face.
Right.
Just get in there.
Right.
Yeah. Did you see Adina's question
No, I did not. Sorry about that.
about Friday?
They will be posted tomorrow. We'll have them. I was going to say, and actually I think we're going to do Ben's one that he did as far as the rye. What was that one you did you had made a couple weeks ago? The blackberry basil old fashioned, was it?
Oh, the blackberry smash with the rye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blackberry smash.
Yeah.
So we'll have that up tomorrow for you. Excuse me, don't want to cough at everyone. So yes, we will take care of that. We'll give you plenty of time to get there. I'm not going to do anything crazy, but we are going to tell you about some of the stuff that's coming out and going on with them at Dancing Goat. So be ready for that on Friday. It starts at 6. It's early. You got to get here. It's supposed to be, a little like cocktail hour. So when you're done, you're primed up and ready to go. Maybe watch another stream or have some dinner, whatever it is. But we're starting at 6, so get ready to drink well that evening. So, hey, the last time we had their gin, it turned out
we had a good time.
We all had a good time. So
we had a really good time.
So I anticipate that as well coming up on Friday. But looking at what we have here, we have 2 old elks, a wheated single barrel and an old elk straight wheat. Then we also have an Oaken Eden Toasted Spiral, a Low Gap Clear Whiskey, and a Boone's Bourbon. That's actually 58.5% in a tiny little bottle like this. Okay. So where do we want to hit first? Does anyone in the chat want to pick? I'll give you like 30 seconds. Otherwise, one of us will have to like pick one of these at random because I'm starting to get thirsty. You're really moving, aren't you?
That Jeopardy music. Yep.
Yeah.
Do,
It's like time to download it. Number
Glass
2
is empty, people. Come on.
Old Elk. Number 2. Red Picks number 2. That was the Toasted Spiral one from Oaken Eden. You guys kosher with that, or you want to save that one for later?
Oaken
Let's
Eden?
drink, man.
Yeah, Oaken Eden.
Let's do this.
Best
Oaken Eden Toasted Spire
ever.
Is it? 5 samples you can't live without this week.
The best sample show ever until the next one comes on.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, this is it. I had to make sure I had one that was unlabeled because I was going to send one out, and I needed to make sure this was the right one. So,
Is the Oaken Eden homegrown? I just want to know.
not quite.
I'm curious.
Okay. Hold on one second. I'm going to grab the bottle on this one. But Oaken Eden is from Texas, and they're doing some really interesting stuff that a lot of people see. They will put spires of wood inside the actual whiskey and to further age it or see if that will change the effect as it goes on. Now, a lot of times, if I'm right, I think about the average time that you get the most out of it is about 6 months to a year, and then it kind of stops a little bit of its effectiveness. But it does change the profile over time. I was going to say, so it may not be vast, but there is kind of a unique kind of change, and they do different staves or spires of wood in different whiskeys. So I'm going to be right back because I think I have this up on the top shelf, because when we got done drinking this, because I'm just going to be honest, early on, I actually really liked this one. And so did a lot of people I know. So when we got done, we took the spire and we put it in a JTS brown bottle and have been letting it sit for months. So I'm going to go grab that, and you guys can give some sniffing notes.
It's got some good color to it for sure.
So one thing I don't know is I guess you have to see what it has on the bottle. I can't talk either. What it says on the bottle as far as the nerd stats, but
right. So all I know is it's coming in at 45%.
Yeah, and it's listed as the Toasted Spire, and I not only do I get marshmallow like I do get from a lot of toasted stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm getting off the nose? I was writing down there. It's like, all right, well, yeah, marshmallow, vanilla, and then it's like, holy shit, Rice Krispie treats.
There you go. Get in my belly. No, I get that. I get that totally. You get the, like you said, the marshmallow, the toasted.
I like this nose. It's a really nice nose on it.
It's a little bit of a smoky cherry note to it.
Mm-hmm.
Or even like a smoky raspberry kind of thing going on.
I almost get a little cinnamon toast crunch. Not a lot,
yeah,
but just like a hint of that in there.
I can see
definitely
that.
some cinnamon. But the wood, that toasted oak it's really present right there.
All these notes, it's like this is like a fat kid's favorite breakfast. Rice Krispie treats and cinnamon toast crunch.
And I believe. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is like that scene in Elf when he's sitting there and he's pouring all the cereal and the maple syrup and everything. And he's just all the candy and crunching it together. Yeah, right here.
Does it have sugar in it? Then yes.
And I believe this was only like 30 or like $35, I think is what it was.
Okay.
So actually, when I was looking at it, I was a little skeptical of the wood thing, even though I've had other people say it worked out really well. Just still personally a little skeptical. I think this worked. I think this worked out pretty well. I was really happy with kind of the flavor profile, but we'll get into that in a second here. So
I like how they it seems to not only embrace it, but and I don't not a gimmick, but it's like, hey, guess what? We know it's going to change over time anyway, but we're really going to make sure this changes over time as you have it. So you're going to have some fun.
I think I've played around with these oak spirals here at home on some stuff. And I think it's interesting because there's probably a balance where they've got to pull this from a barrel maybe a little bit before it's quite ready. So you put that spiral in there and it doesn't take it too far because, they can take it too far. I've had a few that, almost overnight, it turned the whiskey almost black. Just depending on the toast level that you're using with these, but you get the right balance with it, and it can be pretty fun. And I think they've kind of hit that here. It's got a heavy toasted oak note, but there's a lot going on, and it's a fun little whiskey so far on the nose.
We'll get in there and sip it because
let's do it.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
A little more wood for me on the back half of it than I was expecting from the flavor, but it's not bad. I like it. Man, it just has a nice warm hug. Besides all the flavors, it just has a nice warm little hug, and it's pleasant.
Yes, it is. It's very nice. I like this. I can say Renita said it was reasonably priced and around everywhere, which I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of 45s kick my ass a lot harder than this does, which means this doesn't at all. It's really smooth in that fun, smooth kind of way. But it's delicious. This is just fun. This is just fun to sit here and sip.
Yeah. Period. And this is one that I think a lot of people. Another one where if you were having people who are having issues getting into whiskey.
Yeah.
This is a nice one, but it's a little bit richer than some of like say a Basil Hayden or some other introductory whiskeys. This has a little more complexity and like a mid-level, I don't know, like texture and feel and complexity to it at least. Like it's not just simple and bland and goes through it. I don't know. I find it a little more viscous too. So
Emily, smooth. This is a but seriously, this is if you love oaky bourbons, if you like tasting the oak and the barrel notes in your bourbon, this is going to be right up your alley. If you want more of the grain forward style, you're not going to get it here, but it doesn't change the fact it's still a delicious bourbon.
It's sweet and fun. So that's what. So now you can see how if you have people over, how all of a sudden like a bottle will just poof disappear and gone. So there's not much left of the JTS Brown. Do what? Damn thing. Did everyone freeze up? I thought Ben froze, and I couldn't tell if you really froze or not. Okay. So this is the JTS Brown, and if you know a normal JTS Brown, it is actually far lighter than this. So this actually did change it. We originally left it in for a month, had an okay to minimal change on it. It wasn't overly done, but then we've let it in for like another 2 or 3 months, and it's got some really well, the nose is still JTS Brown. The wood hasn't taken over from it, but it does get some carryover on the nose.
I will tell you this, for all those who want to play along at home, you can order these spirals like off Amazon and other different places. And if you got a cheap bottle of bourbon, toss it in there for several days, let it soak up some of that bourbon, and then throw it into a rum bottle and let it add some of that bourbon and toast notes to a rum. And that's pretty fantastic too.
Yeah, It's just a neat way to play with it. So whenever, reuse what you're getting and if you like what you got there, and that was just basically, could we change this? Yes, it got a little bit deeper texture, but I think maybe if we had pulled it earlier or maybe even cheated, maybe added, a little bit of the Oak and Eden when we poured it in, just to give it a little bit bigger shake to it, I think it would have really complemented it better. But I really enjoyed it the way it was coming out of the bottle on this one. I think I would be more than happy to pick up a few of these, especially at that price.
Yeah. This is a very good opener. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Good start. We have a wiener.
We do. Oh. Hey, Mitch. Hey, John.
You got that blend glass going.
Ooh, crap. Okay,
I do. I've started.
I gotta get.
It could get really interesting. It could get ugly.
Let's now you got me thinking percentages as I'm pouring at this moment.
Get out your beakers.
This one's. Let's make that one. Let's get a few more drops of it. All right.
What are we going after
that
next?
off to the side next. Old Elk is like a little shootout for me. So I'd say the Low Gap or the Boone's.
Let's do Low Gap.
Okay.
Let's change it up.
Change it up. Bringing out some white whiskey. Ben,
Yep.
do you know a little bit about these guys? I mean, I can read this.
I know a little bit about these guys, yes. This is a really cool one. This is something I sent you guys. I had stumbled across them at a local shop here, sitting on the shelf, looking lonely and looking interesting, because here's the bottle right here. It's a clear, unaged. Well,
there you go.
I will say technically,
yeah,
per the label, it spent 241 minutes in oak, but really unaged. But this one, it's American Craft Whiskey Distillery, which is actually the Tamar Distillery out in California. Yep. And they're doing this on these small alembic copper pot stills that were previously belonged to Germain Robin, doing the brandy and cognac that he's producing. And so but if you go to their website, if you try to look at what all they're doing, they've got all these different mash bills and recipes that they're doing. I think they're doing some pretty small batches of different stuff. Some of it's unaged, some of it is, but it's really cool. So this one coming in at 41.7%. The mash bill on this one is yellow corn, malted oats, and malted rye. And I think you're going to have a little fun with this. It's interesting.
All right, before we get to the nose, I'm over here giggling. What's that shirt you have on?
Oh, you like the shirt, huh?
Got a little emblem
Check
here.
that out.
What the hell is that?
That's right.
Oh, right here. Here we go. So we got the old Del Bishop fan club. Those of you know,
getting down with ODB.
That's right. Good friends with Dale, and we know how much he loves Red, who's watching here right now, and they're really good friends. And let's see, damn camera. So, got the shocker going on, and hang on, you got to see the back.
Wait, I'll make you big if you're turning all the way around. If you're getting up here, I'm up now.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
But she had to
There's the
turn
man himself.
All right, now hey, John, thanks for stopping in. All right,
tribute to the great one, old Del Bishop.
Okay, so this is corn, malted oats, and malted rye.
Yep.
All right, and I think this would be something to try. And another point would be if anyone is willing to get the Pabst Blue Ribbon crap. I think it's 5 seconds. I mean, it ran through the barrel is what it is.
Exactly.
But this is not much further down the line. But to be honest, and I don't think you can see this, and my background might not be great with yellow, but there is a tinge to it. Like, it's pretty clear, but it's not straight clear. There is a little hue to it. So I think this would be a good comparison between the two as to who came up with the best little white dog thing here. Now,
I'm gonna let you guys explore this one for a minute. I've dug into it several times. I like it. I'm a fan of it. So see
It
what
was
you
a
guys
little
think.
grainy and then went cereal for me. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
No, okay. So last weekend we were making learning to make a couple of my grandma's recipes, and one of them was her apple strudel. And getting all the dough out and everything. This is that scent of dough and flour. As you're, when the flour's in the air and you're mixing it out and you're rolling that stuff out. I get that with on top of that with the it's just there's a little buttery too.
Mm-hmm.
But that nose is it's cloudy like that, like flour, like when you're flipping the dough around.
I like that. I'm smelling like when you're talking that moment, I'm getting a little bit of like the yeast like smell right before you do start kind of like pounding it out. Cough.
I'm trying hard, man. I'm trying really hard. I'm just rocking back and forth. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy.
It's almost like a brown. There's like a brown sugar, but it's almost like a little syrupy note.
They get a little like green grapes when they've been sitting a little bit too long, but they're not bad.
Right.
It's just kind of putting that off.
Yeah, that's a definite note. I've pulled off this every time.
I like that. That's a really good one, Mike, because it is like right as they like when they start getting a little like not a little but like halfway mushy.
Yeah.
And there's a little mustiness to this for me.
I like this. No, I mean for a white, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, can we call this a white whiskey? Is it a white
technically,
whiskey or is it closer to brandy?
Are they?
Yeah. Well, it's not brandy because it's all grain. So it's a whiskey distillate, but it's you can't exactly call it a white dog because it has been in oak for 241 minutes, whatever that means. But
because you had said they're using one of Jermaine's stills.
They're using an alembic pot still.
Okay.
For this.
Okay. I guess for whatever reason I was thinking of.
So you're getting that copper pot still character in there.
Mm-hmm. Thinking that it's you smell the oiliness to it,
right?
Even just as this coming basically off the still.
Oh, I mean, look, you roll this around the glass, that thing it just hangs there.
Oh, I would agree.
Those legs, yeah, they get thick and heavy.
Wow, they're not even coming. They're barely even coming down.
Right.
A whole half of the glass right now.
And that's it. This thing is not even at 82%. Well, it's 41.7%. So, I mean, it's just proof down. But
Ben, what was the mash bill again?
It's yellow corn, malted oats, and malted rye.
All right. I'm going to start a sip on this.
That is interesting.
It's a lot smoother than I would have ever expected.
Right.
Yes.
For coming, I'm seriously.
No, I'm thinking as smooth as this is and as just about clear as it is, I'm not advocating doing this, but let's say you're having a holiday dinner and you don't really want to be there. And you could just say, no, thanks. I'm just drinking water.
Right.
And if someone had it, they might not even know.
Yeah. But you could get away with just pounding the shit out of this.
it's dangerously smooth in that way and very drinkable. That's what I've enjoyed sipping this one. So Amy Liebert was asking, what we're drinking. So this is Low Gap whiskey from the Tamara Distillery in California. It's a clear, basically unaged whiskey with yellow corn, malted oats, and malted rye, done in a old alembic pot still. I love the fruity. I keep coming back to it. I love the fruitiness that comes off the nose here. There's a little bit. I get a little bit of that almost kind of a super glue type note to it in there. But overall, yeah, this one's been fun. Okay, I like this finish because it
it's very steady. But there's a lot of different fruit that I'm getting on the palate, and it's almost like not to go back on like what it said about the grapes, but like a bunch of fruit that has been sitting out together in a bowl, and there's just like a bunch of other flavors, but it's not ripe, it's not strong, whatever, but it's just like this blend that's going through it. It's just very, very steady.
I'm getting grape and apple in the fruit category more heavily.
I'm also getting a little bit of a raw almond note to it with that fruit. I don't know if that's playing in some of the pastry kind of aspect of this, but it's like you get a raw almond.
What is 41.7? Okay, so it's not, it's close to the bottom there because.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Like
that's super easy.
It fades away on your palate, so it feels like there's no finish, but you just have this very light sensation of leftover for a very long time, which is weird. Like it's like the tail end of a finish is just like hanging around for like 45 seconds to a minute,
right?
When you think it was already gone, almost when you swallowed.
Like it's very, very slow warming that goes down, and it's really. It's not. I don't want to say flat. I'll say it's level. It's a level finish for me. It's just there, and it's just hanging. It's hanging level. It's not going up and down. It's just there.
That finish for me is about like it's got a little bit of tartness, almost like a raspberry, the fruity tartness to it, and there's this soft muted pepper note, like what you're talking about, like this musty muted ground pepper note. It's not enough. It's not enough to really give you a lot of tingle or anything, but it's just there. You can taste it, but it's not.
This is a
very burn.
This is really interesting. Now,
Yeah.
I'm almost. I wouldn't normally care, but I kind of want to know what it is off the still versus the 241 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
What type? I don't know. What type of barrel is this? There's all sorts of excitement that's happening right now. You know what I mean? I wasn't prepared for this level of excitement. What the fuck's going on over there?
What is Emily doing?
No, I just said it.
Raw almond.
It's a stupid
Emily,
thought. It's like why 241 minutes?
Right.
Why is it exactly 241? And then I remember there's an old joke about you're either making Irish beans, or if you're in Missouri, you're making St. Louis beans. And in either way, you can only use 239 beans in the recipe, because if you use one more, it'd make it too farty.
Right. Damn it, Mike. So here I'm gonna throw out a guess. I'm not by any means don't know this for sure, but I'm wondering. My thoughts are if I'm approaching this, it's like, is he using the barrel basically as like a soft filtration, if you will? And maybe the 241 minutes is the time it takes him to fill the barrel and then turn around and dump it. That kind of thing. And he's just using that as like a soft way to filter the spirit before he bottles it.
I think so, but it could be like, I think with Pabst, like I think the barrel, it has to be in the barrel for 5 seconds. Like it has to sit there. So like you said, like maybe 240 and then there's like, or 237 and the last 5 are like poof and you're good. But I am extremely intrigued by this.
But it's 241 minutes, so interesting. He let it sit there long enough.
I feel like the malted oats played like a unique role in this.
I want to do some cocktails with this because I feel like this would be a good kind of, not your base, but like a bridge spirit to add to build on something else that you got there. I think this would be a fun one to mix with too. So,
it's like this. It's subtle and complex, and it's nice, incredibly rounded. Like I said, there's almost no edges,
right?
To what's going on. So I can't wait to get our hands on something that's actually been aged for longer from them.
And they have some bourbon
at a higher proof.
Right. They have some different bourbon and rye mashes that they do have fully aged. So I haven't seen them on the shelf, but I've seen them on their website. But I'd love to get a hold of those. I'm really curious by this. So
Spence's are all the batches 241 minutes. Probably not, but that would be really cool.
Right.
We have the 241 and the 2-year release.
Maybe it's some kind of occultic symbolism that they're 241. Somebody look that up for us.
All right. Fred Rogers lived by 143. Interesting.
The 482 batch is amazing. Yes, John. And don't tell me you guys down at Crowded Barrel don't do shit like that too. So come on.
Yeah.
That's how accidents happen.
That's right.
All right. I'm going to say I was
ruined the whole batch by going to 483.
God.
All right. I got to add some Lowland Gap in here. Don't go 490.
I like that.
I'd be plenty happy to sit here and sip this the rest of the night. Hey kids, shut up.
Daddy's recording.
That's right. Do we need your version of that, Mike?
Yeah.
You get that as a ringtone.
Sets off.
That'd be fantastic. Right.
All right, here. So I got a little bit of that mixed in there. I'm going with a light sample of stuff. All right, so are we going Old Elk, Boone's, or Oppidian? And Oppidian I don't have because I don't. Sorry, folks, I don't know where the fuck the bottle is.
Let's get right to what we're here for. What everybody is waiting for. The legend.
Oh.
Hang on, Patrick. You need to bring Mike up to full screen. He's about to give them what they want.
Yeah,
not me.
Start the music.
Yep.
Well, hold on, you're a little leggy. We want you to come back here. Come back, Mike. Especially if we're taking your shirt off. Freeze it up, man. Whoa.
And here we thought Patrick was the freak all along.
Yeah.
It's always the quiet guy in the corner.
Anyway. So are we going to Boontown?
Yeah. Do you still want to be big?
I just poured it. Let's go there.
All right. Okay, I just have the two questions, which I know I've joked about this a little bit, only because of the labeling that's on there. Now we do have mini bottles, but the much larger bottle is not much different in proportion. Homegrown's really large, so is homegrown the name of the bourbon, or is it just? And is it homegrown? Is it actually homegrown? Because my understanding is it's not homegrown. It's sourced, which is fine if you're sourcing.
Right.
But
so
and
what
again,
exactly
it's only
is homegrown about it.
Only because of looking at this and going, whoa, homegrown. Then I start looking at the other stuff on the bottle, and America is mentioned like 3 times, like on the bottle. It's like it's American. And it just, I don't know. It's a labeling thing. I haven't tried this yet, but I was like, I don't know, labeling's kind of off.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had this a couple years ago. I haven't had it since. There's some interesting reviews out there you can check out. There's a good friend of ours, and he's, I think, in large part partially responsible for getting us all together. But Ed over at the Rock Gut Review, you should check him out. He's now back on and doing his show. Love Ed. But he did a little review of this at one point. So I'm just going off the label here, and I picked this up local and homegrown right here in South Carolina. But homegrown Boone's Bourbon coming in at a respectable 117 proof. Aged a minimum of 6 months in American white oak charred barrels, which they misspelled charred on the label. If you take a look at that, interesting. Produced and bottled by Stripe Pig Distillery in North Charleston. So Striped Pig is, I mean, they've been around for a little while and they've kind of got some of their own labels out now, but they've long time been like a contract distiller. Basically, if you create your own label, you create what you want and they'll bottle it for you type thing. There's also been some rumors on the internet in looking at this as far as, potentially could have sourced some MGP at some point. Don't know, but we do know Tyler Boone is a local musician here. And he apparently has a love for bourbon and whiskey and wanted to have his own label here. So that's what we got.
I did double check. There's a chance that's not misspelled.
Really?
Because the word, if the word is chared, CHARED, that is to mean to have done a chore. I'm just, anyway, I don't know.
All right. Well, the mash bill.
I'm a dumbass. What do I know?
75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% barley on this one.
Okay.
Just so we have that on there. And it's just when we were thinking 6 months, sometimes you might think, some other people might think sonic aging and stuff when you're going
right
with something that low coming out that quick. But
right. So there's another distillery in North Charleston.
And that's where I think I was getting them confused.
So they've changed names a number of times. It was Terra Pure. It was it OZ Tyler? Now it's Green River, which they're doing some major work in Kentucky, a big distillery they're building, expanding up there, and supposedly getting beyond just the sonic aging stuff, the hyper aging, whatever you want to call that. But don't know how close all that is related.
All right, here. I'm just going in on the nose.
That proof is coming off there. It's a little bit sharp.
I don't think it's bad sharp.
It's not bad, but it's there. I mean, compared to we've had some other stuff, high proof that you just stick your nose all the way up in there basically and camp out and you're good.
Yeah,
but
it's on the back side here and on the finish where it kind of comes through on a little bit of a high note.
There's a little bit of a cherry and a little bit of a char note that I'm getting off of it.
Yeah, I get the cherry, but there's like a custard, so it's almost like a cherry frozen custard on there.
I'm getting but I'm also getting it's kind of a hay note, but I'm having a hard time telling if it's like hay. In between the dry hay and the wet hay. It's like in between.
Here's what I would describe it as. It's almost like corn silks if you got a pile of corn silks and it started to rot, which is not
that's pretty good because I had corn on the cob tonight,
right?
And that's really good because you bring that up. Yeah, a little bit
like
of the damp.
They're composting. Too. You got a pile of corn silks and they're composting kind of thing. That's
and a little bit of pepper and stuff, but for me, there's not a lot of strong punch, flavor wise. Like it's a little more hunting.
I'm having to dig through the big ethanol note coming off the top to get to the notes. I feel like it's like this cap that you have to kind of work through to get to what's in there.
It's like there's a wax layer on there.
Right.
I mean, it's grainy underneath there, but it's like it's waxy and you're trying to get through that to get to it.
Okay. Try the bottom.
And that, if it is the age
Mike.
if it's the, like I said, minimum of 6 months, I mean, I could get that it's the age thing.
It's definitely youthful, I think.
Okay.
So
Ben, try the bottom of the glass, top of the glass. His nose.
Okay.
You take a sniff at the bottom and then drag it through the top.
Right.
It almost brings out like a cedar wood.
I can see that cedar, and I'll raise you a sassafras on top of it.
But it's
there's a little hint of sassafras,
shit.
which for me, sassafras is one of my favorite notes to pull out of a whiskey. So I like that in there.
I do, but
Yeah.
it's like a little flat. It's also feels a little flat to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to do a reset just because the ethanol.
Yeah.
It came back and you said sassafras, and as I was doing that, I was like root beer bottle caps.
There you go.
That's a really nice one. Just with like little rubbery inside to it and stuff.
Right.
On top.
Mm.
Okay.
No, I like that. I like that approach, and I like that note coming off of it. That's something pretty favorable I found on this. So
on the nose, man, it gets right up to the end. It draws right up to the line, Emily.
yeah.
It's right teetering on the edge of it. All right, here, I'm going to take a step and see what's going on. Ooh.
Woody corn.
I do not like how this first hits the palate at all.
No.
It's all over the place, and it's rough. I don't even know that woody is the right way to describe it. For me, it's almost.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not digging the finish on this either.
See, I was gonna say, I'm like the finish. It was the part that I was like, at least it was kind of. Hold on here, I'm going back in.
The middle part after it hits, it starts to get to the back of the palate a little bit. I get a little bit of that cherry, and a little bit of that fruit coming out of there. Maybe a little touch of that root beer note, but it none of it feels like it's really it's together. You see a lot of people describe a whiskey as very spiky because the notes are kind of all over. This is like the epitome of spikiness in a whiskey to me, because it's everywhere all at one time, and it's not layered together. It's not structured nicely.
For me right now, it's like almost flat,
right,
until the air hits, and then when the air hits, for me, it's bringing out a lot. If you were like really oaky whiskeys, or I was going to say, or heavily wooded finish ones,
Sweet.
You might be. I was going to say, after the sweetness, that's kind of what was coming up next. Fucking mosquito. Was and you can. The thing for me was I got the heat. You know, I'm like, and I know it's 58%. So I do. You know, you do expect some heat, but that was like once. Like I said, where he opened up, and it's kind of like the flavor opened up, the heat came through once the air came in. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try another. I gotta do another one here, just because
here's my take. It's sour. It's like a sour wood up front.
Did I? Well, I'm not looking at my face when I'm doing it. So
it's second time for me is even worse going in. The flavors I'm getting off that, I feel like they're not making. I mean, honestly, they're not making good cuts on this. I feel like there's some heads in here on this. That's
could really plastic bottles be an issue a little bit? I'm just saying in
general. I don't know, but it's got that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's like wood, but like an acetone kind of woody note to me.
Yeah.
I think. How about this? If you were going to have a 6 month-old whiskey, I would think this would be similar to a lot of people's 6-month-old whiskeys. Not everyone's. There's a lot of exceptions, and a lot of just some of them might need a little bit more time. Maybe this is like an older whiskey getting to like a 2 or a 4-year-old. I think some of the issues might get pulled out.
Right.
With at least a couple of them.
No, if you're going for 6 months old, and I know they're going for, possibly doing some hyper aging or whatever, but you want to take some damn narrow cuts on this, because it's kind of like if you're putting out a white whiskey or a moonshine, you're going for a very narrow cut, because that's where the sweetness, your best flavor is going to come from. If you're going to age it, you're going to put it in the barrel for some time. And sure, you take a little bit of a wider cut on that because some of those congeners, some of the stuff you're getting from there, that's going to break down, it's going to oxidize, it's going to help with the flavors in there. This to me tastes like they took a wider cut, but they're rushing it through, and it's just.
I think it's on the higher end too, not the low end, not in the tables.
Right.
Yeah. It's in the
serpentine. That's kind of a good way to put it, Emily. But almost more
But
acetone.
It falls a little short of that. So
yeah, it's not quite, but it's not like pine tar kind of thing. It's more of an acetone.
It's a little. But it's in the presentation and the finish for me. It's rough. Like it's not so much that it's like spiky, but it's just like this really weird rough road that it's going on there. And now for me trying this neat, not my thing. I could see for if you're doing this, and I'll give, yes, we're using a sample bottle because we don't have full-size bottles. I'll give them that. And maybe this is made as a mixer, and that's fine. I could see using this as a mixer because like, oh, here's bourbon, put it in with your mixer. You're not going to care, or you're going to have this on ice. You might not care. But as a neat drink in comparison to other stuff, it's not cohesive, and you could tell it's better than, like, if you just had 6-month-old whiskey. In general, it's better than a 6-month-old whiskey, but we've also had 5 and 6-month-old whiskey that's pretty freaking phenomenal.
I was going to have a bottle of Hartfield right over here.
Yeah, and, I've got one.
That's
got one
freaking
right
amazing.
Yeah. So, but at the price point this is at, I get that. At the price point that it's at, and at that presenting that proof is helping this a lot. I think, in my opinion, that proof is helping a lot.
I think the proof is helping because I think if you did bring this down a little bit more, some of those flavors are going to pop even worse. The proof is kind of helping hide it, but the more I sit here, the more these flavors linger in my mouth, the more I just want to go brush my freaking teeth, man, because just get this shit out of my mouth. I'm not enjoying this in any way. Yeah.
It's a weird sweetness.
It's funky.
It's like an Aquafresh sweetness.
Here's what it reminds me of.
I was getting like a little bit of that. Just now, but of course subjective. So.
Here's what it reminds me. It's like artificial sweeteners. I do not like artificial sweeteners at all. Can't drink a diet drink. I don't like that. It tastes like chemical and it tastes crap. And that's what to me is like this chemical sweetness that it just lingers and it will not go away. And I just want it to go away. It's, but yeah, that's, I can see where if you're going down the shit, you're going to the store and you don't know, and you see this sitting on the shelf. Cause I think a full bottle is like what, $35 or something like that. What did you do, Mike?
What did you do? Did you snort it?
That's how you should enjoy it. Get a snort.
I put a little water in the glass.
Oh God. Okay. So you tried to proof it down a little bit. Let's see what. Bad. I wasn't. So what it was corn syrup. Ooh. Okay.
I mean, go ahead and try it.
I just added
some. That really put me off. That was just like, oh.
So I'm just gonna guess that it's yellow dent because of the sweetness to it.
Right.
And it's 75%.
Yeah, I don't think they're using any kind of. I mean, if you're using any kind of heirloom type corn or different grain, you're advertising that. You're going to talk about that.
But I don't think you're using heirloom corn at that price point. You're trying to sell this, but
so that's what I was saying. You go down the shelf and you see, hey, here's a bourbon at 117 proof for like $35 or whatever. I think that's about the range this is at. You're going, oh, that looks like a steal. There's reasons.
Yeah.
So I added that
help time, or there's some notes like on the nose, like once you get over the acetone, there's some stuff hidden in there, but that's just so strong on the top. All right, that's good.
You know what this reminds me of? I have a really cheap bottle of blended Scotch in Inverhouse, I think, that's just like this. Really sickeningly butterscotch note on the nose, And watered down, that's what my mind immediately goes to. And the only reason I had that bottle is I bought it for a stream we did with Ed here like a couple years ago, where he had, I think it was like his 1 year anniversary or something, come on and make some obnoxious, nasty drink to toast him with. And I used that and blended it with gin and some other stuff to make something horrible. By itself, it's bad enough, but that's what this is starting to remind me of. It's sickeningly sweet.
Ooh, Eli, you're not supposed to say
I'd be willing to try this out of an actual full-size bottle.
Mm-hmm. Could be different.
As opposed to what it could be different.
I mean, this could be a year or two old too if it's a mini bottle someplace. I mean, but it's
okay. So it's like
a good mixer. If you're gonna if we're gonna leave Mike sit out in the ether for a second.
Yeah, so I get the corn syrup with the water. I get the corn syrup. It's also like an artificially sweetened butterscotch with this green wood kind of note coming off of it.
All right.
Stay away, folks. Sorry. I cannot recommend this in any way, shape, or form. And look, it's not often that
price point for 58% would be enough if you're gonna have a party and mix it with WAP or something. And I'm just saying there might be around there, but
right.
I understand your statement of you could pick something else too. So
I mean, you guys can say what you want to about this. And if you've watched this long enough, it's not very often that I just flat out shit on a whiskey. And this one just
see, you got Spencer all upset out there. No, we'll get off it, but it's
right.
not. I'm trying to find a silver lining. It's not.
Can we let's move on? Let's move on. I need to get this out of my mouth.
All right, now do you want to open it or do you want to do our Old Elk Weeded challenge here?
We should finish with the Old Elks, I think.
Yeah, so we'll do the Oppidian next.
Yeah, and I'm going to let you guys go on that one. But they're out of Wheeling, Illinois.
I got to have some more water.
And this one is, I bet you do.
I want some coffee or I need a cigar or something. I need something to get.
The Solera aged bourbon whiskey. Now, when this one's talking Solera, what they do is it's a 5-grain mash bill of corn malted rye, chocolate malted rye, special B, and 2-row barley. And as far as the Solera aging process, basically they age it in 3 different barrels: American oak, French oak, and Oloroso sherry casks. The French oak and the Oloroso casks are never emptied. So they're the Solera casks, and then they blend them all together for what this is here. What?
Kevin.
Oh,
damn it, Kevin.
Yeah, that's all true. Yeah, that's all true, Kevin. It is made bits of Panther. All right, here. Oh, I don't have it. So this one's on YouTube. Sorry about that. This one's gone away. So I'm intrigued to see what you think about it. I will give what my remnant thoughts were of when I had it. Yeah, watch this.
I'm writing some stuff down here. He done dropped out.
Yeah, I'd like to drop out.
RUNNOFT.
Scrub my mouth with some steel wool for 30 minutes.
I did. I actually had a little bit of the low gap to try to put myself
to cleanse that out. And here I went and added it to the blend. I'm like, this blend is just shot now. I'm ready for some Ardbeg or something.
Ew, damn it! I'm having 2 dump glasses.
No, you got to do it, man.
I just tasted it now.
I got a really nice homemade biscuit on the nose on this. And a little coffee and chocolate.
Yeah.
He's back.
I am back. I was reading Eli's comment to Kevin.
That's not too far off. Okay, which distillery would it be, though?
So the chocolate malt, man, that is some heavy stuff. It takes just a tiny bit to just come in and dominate a spirit. So I like you can tell it's here, but it's like a subtle accent. And I think they pulled that off nicely on this one.
Adding on to my food notes, Fig Newtons.
Oh, I love Fig Newtons. Gavin will fight you over a Fig Newton now, especially if
I have not had one of those in a really long time, but I had heard about taking one of those and warming them up and putting some butter on it. I'm gonna have to try that because that just sounds orgasmic.
So I love your Fig Newton note because for me it's like if I took a bite of Fig Newton and then I popped in like a Whopper's chocolate malted ball to follow up. That's what I feel like this whiskey is giving me right here.
Where's the diabetes?
Yeah. It's just it's not that sweet, but it's just the flavors and notes that
No, it's not.
It's that you get off of it. Yeah.
You're diabetes.
Yes. All right. Now, I think when I had it, and it has been a little bit because I don't know what happened to the bottle, so my apologies to everybody there. I obviously drank it at some point. I think on the flavor, I wanted to be a titch more cohesive for me.
I hear that. I can see that. I mean, it's not layered in. It's not, the flavors aren't all integrated like you come across when you have a really fine spirit. You know, something like what I experience anytime I have something from Iron Root or from Allen or a number of other these places that we've reviewed that have some really good stuff. To me, that's part of what sets apart a really good spirit, a really good distillate. The flavors are so well integrated. They flow. It's like a beautifully layered cake. You know, this isn't quite that, but it's still not bad either. So
There's a weird jump on that, on the palate. What the hell is that?
where are you getting that jump at? Like more on the finish, or is it as you're going through on this?
It's not right at the start, but it's like immediately after the start.
I haven't been on top of all the tickers, damn it. Sorry, everyone, before now if I missed you.
Okay. I think I see what you're talking about because it comes in.
It's something burnt.
It comes in almost a little bit. I don't say muted. It comes in. God, how can I put it? It comes in like a little bit on the low scale, and then all of a sudden it takes this big jump in flavor. That's the way I'm feeling.
Okay.
You're processing it. This huge spike,
I think I know what it is.
kind of, but go for it.
Burnt coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
AK
coffee.
Starbucks.
Like if someone spills it onto the burner. Someone at work spills it onto the burner and they don't wipe it up because that's what people at work do. And then you get that smell.
How do you feel about your work, Mike?
I bring my own coffee anymore, actually. I started doing that about a year and a half ago, and I enjoyed the free coffee because it was nice, but there's always, well, who made it? Because that made a big difference on what it tasted like. But I just bring my own. It's better, and it's not burnt.
Edward, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in.
Oh, hey there.
And I don't remember it being sulfury, Eli, but they're the ones who
It's
get
not
the chance to sniff it.
It's not that meaty sulfur note that you get like out of a
No.
Scotch or something that's been sherry cask finished.
No, I thought that was incredibly light as far as its influence, the
Yeah.
sherry cask. I was actually expecting that to have more of a punch, even in the Solera one, so that makes me feel like it's
I feel like the
10,
more
15% that, and not anything more, of the sherry cask finish in it. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I'll say, I feel like the more I sip this, the more the chocolate malt just starts to dominate on the palate, especially on the finish. And it's
And
not
some of that-
not in a negative or a bad way. But that's what really comes forward on this.
Some of that char note that I'm getting to is also if you burn chocolate in a pan,
Oh, yeah.
which is not too far off
I
from
can
burning.
see that.
Right.
I think I could see that.
It's
more
not that I don't like it. It's just different. It's like, what the hell is that note? It's
Right.
weird.
It did startle you the first time, Mike. So, so I don't know. I think that's kind of what I was getting. I'm like, I thought it was
I've been startled twice.
like okay to good, maybe, but it had some cohesion and something else to kind of bring it up to the next level. Now, I
Right.
have had their smoke and sea, which is pretty damn delicious. I've had that before, and I was a big fan of that one. This one I'm in between on. I might buy a bottle again. The way I shop for stuff, it's hard for me to go back to a bottle a second time. That's just it is. But there are some of them out there. Spencer's challenging you. He's never heard of burnt coffee or chocolate as a positive note.
Well, if any
It's
Starbucks
not bad.
Starbucks
It's
fans out there,
It's just weird. And it's not burnt to this, but it's not the no to
Whoa, just
to the
slow
degree
down.
that the smoke detectors have gone off. It's not. I'm to think, and now my tongue is numb from a couple of weird experiences. But it's not to the point where your smoke detectors went off. It's just like you cooked it a little bit too long. It's stuck on the side of the pan. It's just a little too long, but it's not bad. It's not ideal. Hey, whiskey straight ale. What's going on, Al?
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Doing pretty good. Almost like where the double boiler is running out of water. Is that what you're saying? That kind of that burnt note when you're melting chocolate that way? Are you actually getting it to where it's burning the chocolate itself? Is that I'm like
there's some chocolate that just got a little
went over
burnt.
the edge.
all right. I'm curious with this one to spend. I want to sit down later on at some point and spend a little time with this in the glass, because the longer this sits here, the more the nose on this develops. And now I'm starting to it's like the sherry is coming more forward to me as it's sitting here.
Dean was saying that the same batch of opening, they were slightly. I think I can see that happening, because I've had different ones of this one and thought difference. So, damn, Ben, gotta keep people in check out there. You're on my show.
Yeah. Sounds like something Pat would say on one of the Friday night shows.
Right.
I don't think I said that. I'm pretty sure someone else said whatever the hell that was.
I think I remember Patrick. No, I'm just kidding. The way I retell the story.
That's exactly it, right? It's the way you retell it.
Emily's right. They call that blackening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
Or
I'm gonna
blackening
hit.
and just getting the knife like your dad used to do when he burnt the grilled cheese, and he was like, "Here, I'm de-blackening," and just scraping off the burnt piece. He's like, "It's still good. It's still good."
You
and
feel
you know
flavor,
it's not.
boy.
You know it's not.
right.
All right. I'm gonna rinse out a glass, and I'm gonna be right back, because we're gonna do the Old Elk Weeded Challenge, which I think is gonna be dramatically different. So at least I believe so. So I'll be right back.
This dump glass is getting a little too full here. I've got all six in here, and it's got a little volume to it.
Volume. I'm dumping measured pours into the dump glass to try to keep them all balanced, but I've got the rest sitting over here.
I am too. I say I don't dislike the nose. I will say that of the dump glass.
Okay. I haven't gone to it yet, but I will tell you what I don't like. If anybody was paying attention about 5 minutes ago, you saw me pull a glass, take a nose, and probably make a really disgusting face. The more that homegrown Boone's bourbon sits in the glass with the water, just the more awful it gets. I just tried to smell it. It's disgusting.
It was shocking. I
What
was
were we talking about?
Surprised at that.
What was what?
It's disgusting. Just go.
Yeah, well, that's disgusting.
That's right.
Terrible.
This ain't no Cavatier.
Yeah.
What did you start on? Though? This is fucking terrible already. Like, I don't want to drink this shit like when I came back.
No, so talking about the Boone's bourbon. It's just sitting over here in the glass. I'd added water to it. It's been sitting
doing anything.
About 5 minutes ago. I just took a nose, took a smell of it, and it just the worse it gets. The more I come back to it, the worse it is. So
it's almost like it revealed the fact that it's so young.
Right.
Yeah. Like the longer it went, like I said, it's if you're gonna do
I honestly, I would like to try it out of a full-size bottle to see if there's any difference to it,
or maybe at this point it's older,
right?
Yeah.
You know,
well,
maybe now it's a year.
But you know, ages and everything. But
no, age isn't everything. But you've got to create the distillate in such a way so that age does not matter to that degree. I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of like when we had the Rabbit Hill here a while back. I said that was young; it should have more time in the barrel. But that's because I believe that distillate was created in such a way that it needs that time in the barrel.
Right.
It was intended for a 10-year sit.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
Not everyone does the thought process on that.
I think Dave's talking about that Oppidian. Or Oppen, yeah. However you say it. I don't even want to talk now. Makes a good chocolate old fashioned with some chocolate bitters and chocolate mint.
Right.
Sounds really good.
Oh, I would agree with that. I know they have a couple other ones here. What is it? Like I said, I know there's Smoke and Sea one I've had. And that one is a 4-grain. Once again, the Solera aged bourbon and French oak this time. And peated Islay Scotch barrels. So it really, for me, that one was pretty exciting. I really like that one. I'll go get that one right now. It's pretty tasty.
So
John, that's just the way it is. And
hey, Daniel Boone's son is buried 5 minutes from me, so I don't know if there's any relation there.
Whatever.
Or even I don't even know why that even matters that I said that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It wasn't intentional.
It doesn't matter.
It just we intentionally went into that with like an open mind, hoping to be like turned a different way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we've seen some reviews. We've had experience with this. It's kind of like, well, that's been a couple years. Things can change, you know, and you go into it with an open mind saying, okay, convince me, change my mind. Show me you got something good. And it just didn't happen tonight. Yeah.
Okay. Now this, let's start with the straight wheat. Okay.
There we go.
Before this, okay, this is the one you got for me. So this one, significantly lighter than Mike's single barrel pick. That's 7 points higher. It's 50 to 57%. And
so are we A-Bing these side by side as we go? Or are we just going to hit one and then the other?
I don't know. I think you're going to notice a difference in my mind, but significantly different, like light yellow to amber gold.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty big for only 7 points. And Old Elk, obviously from Colorado, sourcing at one point, doing their own stuff now.
Colorado.
I have had several of the bourbons and everything that I have enjoyed. I have enjoyed thoroughly from them. So I was going to say,
this is pretty unique though, in that the guy who was making it when they were strictly sourcing is now the guy who's making it at the distillery. And I'm curious how many times that's ever happened.
Right.
That's 0. I mean, I'm going to lean on that one. Oof. Okay.
Yeah, I may be in it.
Oh, you're A
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
I was just A.
Yeah, why
I'm
not?
gonna have to get into B because man,
Right.
I'm not a big fan
Okay.
of A.
Okay,
B is
so
better.
immediately I can tell the proof difference on the nose on B, which is the single barrel. But as far as the actual notes I'm getting off of it, they're pretty damn close.
See, I'm not getting the same notes on the nose.
No?
Yeah, good, Dave. I'm gonna want to hear what you're thinking too.
I'm trying to figure out what this is. Hold on here.
Yes, Cheech. Hit that like
Yeah.
button, buddy. Thank you very much.
Ugh.
God,
I'm
what
sorry. I'm
is it?
having the same issue I was before. Maybe I just don't like the wheat version of what they're doing because
There's something minty coming across.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like it's minty or mouthwashy that's coming across on the normal wheat. And I've had the
Mouthwash.
normal wheat before, and I did not have that.
And then that's why I asked you, because when I had this, I asked you both.
Yeah,
if
you
had
you
the
said you
wheat,
thought
and I
you
was
had
like,
one that was
I feel like
off.
this might be an off one, because I'm like, for what everyone else is saying, this is not, not what I'm getting, because on the straight wheat, it's 50%. I get a lot of barn. I get a lot of hay. It's sharp on the outside edge of my
Interesting.
nose.
I get the sharpness to it. I get a little bit of the hay. I get a cherry note, like a sour cherry note coming off of that. When I go to the single
Sour
barrel,
cherry.
I'm getting more of a chocolate note that's coming off of that now. It's kind of a milk chocolate.
Lemon pledge on the straight. It's kind of like citrus, but it's like a fake citrusy.
Ooh,
You know what I get on the single barrel one? It's very specific to me. Hot maple syrup on waffles with chocolate.
Why you got to make me all hungry and stuff?
It has a higher. It smells like it has a much richer sugar content in this. Like it's not the corn. It smells more caramely.
So that weird
Eli,
whiff comes back. Oh, go ahead.
Eli made an interesting comment here, and I got it just a second ago, and I was coming back to it to figure out what the hell am I smelling now? Tea tree oil.
Yeah,
you just freaking nailed it, man. That's exactly what I'm pulling off of this.
But it's not consistent. It's like it's there and then it's not there. Like sometimes I go back and forth. It's there and it's not there. But it's weird. It just shows up. It's just odd.
Ugh.
Huh.
Okay. I don't know.
Right,
I'm getting clogged here. It just smells richer and more rounded. The 57 significantly, and it loses some of the bad notes I dislike. I won't say it loses them; it mutes them. It tones them down to like 5%.
I'm getting a little bit of I'm getting a little bit of caramel latte on that single barrel pick now too, and that's smelling delicious.
Yeah, the palate, I don't get that.
The straight wheat RA is just to me it's getting sharp on the nose.
In case anyone's curious.
No, sharp heat, some burning lemon oil. Licking the inside of a barrel.
Now, hurry up. Shoot the Boones.
Chase one with the other. I think I'd rather have Malort. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah, so just try the first one and tell me if you think if maybe it's an off barrel for that. That's why I want to wait to hit the 57 because this feels tasteful.
I didn't get that on the palate like I did on the nose, but this single barrel beats the shit out of it. I can tell you that.
I haven't gone to the single barrel yet. I just hit the straight wheat or A. I'm getting a lot of what you're talking about. It's sharp. It's all over the place. There's kind of this, like sometimes I've gotten a lemon pledge or a lemon oil note in a rye a number of times, especially a Midwestern rye. But I actually find that intriguing. I find it good. Here, it's not good. It's really
It's almost
kinda-
like lemon pledge on the edge of like a warhead or a sour, something that's
Right.
like fucking like shaking your senses.
right.
Right.
So I don't like it. The finish isn't all that bad for me. I'm sitting here like, okay, the finish I'm down with. It's not like Boone's where I'm sitting there going, I want to scrub my mouth and get that out. But I don't like the experience sipping it so far. It's not It's not like it's horrid. It's not great.
So it's like 4 different lemon flavors, and none of them are like the nice one that I like. It's like a little bit of sharpness, a little bit of rotted lemon. It's just
That gets worse the second time around too.
all right. I'm getting some water. Yes, Mike, you're giggling your ass off. What's up?
Do you want me to tell you what I'm thinking?
Yeah, I do.
Do it.
Okay, I'll tell you. This has nothing to do with the whiskey.
Oh, great.
Even better.
True story. Within the last 2 weeks, there was a person down by the plaza here in Kansas City. There's what's called Brush Creek, which is it's all runoff and parts of it are sewage. Someone was running from the cops and decided to jump into Brush Creek to escape. They didn't make it out of the creek. A friend of mine he's a firefighter, but he's on a water rescue team. And I'd wondered if he was one who was called in to try to search for the guy. So of course he did. And he was saying they go look for him, and then whoever was in charge said, guys got to get in the water and go look. And they use these poles that are like 10 foot long, and the water's like 14 foot deep. And he's recounting the story. And as he's telling us the story of doing this, he's trying not to puke while he's telling us the story. That face reminds me of this. So he's telling me the story, and he's like, I'm getting down there. He goes, and every time you take a swipe down, because the water's like here, and he said you take the swipe down and you start to go down, and you're like, and as he's talking, he's like, and I was taking a swipe. He's talking like this as he's telling it, and he's like, oh, and I go and take a swipe, and he keeps doing this as he's talking. And he said the problem was it's water's 14 foot deep, so you're really trying to get it. And as he's doing this, and he's like burping and trying not to puke while he's telling the story. He's swiping, and he goes, and then this condom comes floating at him in the creek, so he has to stop, and he's going like this to try to splash it away, and he's trying not to puke as he's doing it. Anyway, your face as you're doing this, you just totally remind me of Robert telling the story about trying to do this water rescue in the sewage with a condom floating in his face. So, anyway, this story brought to you by no.
Anyway. Dave was saying he got a little bit of a sharp evergreen. No, I agree completely. I could see that in there. I was not. And he was saying they did a barrel pick or something. None of them were blow your mind, but none of them were. I feel like this might be a bit. I don't know. Compared to the bourbon and the other ones I've had from Old Elk, it really makes me feel like this is a bad barrel or a bad blend. Like I've had other stuff and I drink it just fine and I really enjoy it.
I think it's awesome.
There's something up about that. Now I am going to go to the big one because who doesn't want to end the show on 57%? So let me get my nose in here.
Muted. So the single barrel, that's head and shoulders different in my opinion.
Significantly better. There are some of the detracting notes hidden in the background, but they do not play center stage, and they are tamped down significantly. It is significantly more enjoyable than the straight weight. Like head and shoulders, like if you're giving grades, it's like D- and like a B+. And
I get, even with still get the warm maple syrup on waffles with chocolate, powdered sugar.
That's the part that's beautiful about it.
Yeah.
Now, hold on here.
There you go, John Boy.
Is it though?
There still is some heat, some sharpness on the back end, and for me, it still gets a little bit of that green hay note. Like it's in there at the back. It's hiding in the back where you wish it would get just get stomped on and get taken out by the other flavors, because it has like this to this. There's not even a difference.
Right.
Color alone says it. It's whatever. I don't even want to talk about this. I just feel better that you guys confirmed how I felt about that, because I was like really disturbed for a bit.
So
just a little bit
on the single barrel, there's kind of like what you're talking about, Patrick. There's a little bit of a sour note on the back end that I'm not a fan of, and it hangs around in the finish. And I'm not the straight wheat. The finish was not that terrible to me. Once you got through all the horrible notes that were coming off of that, the finish kind of played out. It's like, okay, I could sit here and live with this. The single barrel, it's like I enjoyed what I was getting up until the very end of it on the swallow, and then that sour, really kind of funky sour note hit, and it's just lingering along on the finish.
It's like having a leftover warhead, just like just sitting fading in the background, where you're like, it's almost a little irritating.
It's kind of it's just ruining it for me. I mean, it's like I want to like this because there's some notes in there that I like, but
you're forcing me to pour more.
Yeah.
Sometimes take one for the team, Mike.
It's gonna be that kind of night.
Let's see. Yeah, occurred. Oh, yeah. Facebook didn't get it. I don't know what their problem is. They're just gonna get updates if they can't take the video. I don't want to transfer it over.
Right.
I don't know here. This is.
I'm not quite getting that on the finish. I get what you're talking about, but I don't get it. I don't get it to stand out.
Mm-hmm. And this leads to another question that's excellent.
Oh,
yeah. Seriously, good question. Not necessarily Boone's. Anything you had that didn't agree with your palate. You didn't, or it feels like it's lingering, because sometimes you have something and it feels like it's fucking holding on. How much do you think that affects your palate the rest of the evening when you're tasting something?
I have an answer for that, but I can tell you, okay, you know what I'm getting? It's not, I don't get the flavor, but I get the feeling, like if you've had all that sweetness and then you have like a strawberry right after that, and how it just like flips on your palate real quick.
Okay.
I get a reminiscent of that. But yeah, for Kevin's question, and this is God's honest truth. First time I ever had Head Club, which was the last time I ever had Head Club. I poured too much of it. This guy he's very generous with all of his whiskeys, and he was like, "Oh, you should try this." And I didn't do a little sip of it, and I also finished it because I'm a champion. and it ruined me. It ruined me. I could not get rid of that flavor at all. I could not. I tried several whiskeys afterwards, and it was awful. It was cologne. It was cheap Avon cologne.
It is. That is it. The bottle is exactly what's inside.
All right. You know what that reminds me of? That question and your experience and all that. What comes to mind is go back about a year ago to when we had James Britcher on the show, and you gave us that IPA, single malt or whatever that was. Oof. That was like old lady perfume, and James he was like, what was he? He's eating horseradish and pickles, all kinds of crap,
pickle juice and everything, just trying to cleanse his palate.
Yeah, would not go away.
And I did that because I knew it, and he's my friend. Yeah. So keep that in mind, all of you out there.
What was that? Was that Driftless Glen? Or who was that?
It was an IPA experimental series from Yahara Bay.
Yahara Bay. That's right.
But it was I think almost 2-3 distillers ago now. Mm-hmm. They went through a couple real quick there. But yeah, it was one of those ones when I was there, and I had it right away when I was there. It was pretty interesting, and I don't like IPAs in general. And I was like, hey, actually, this isn't too bad. And I had it in a cocktail. I was like, that's pretty interesting. But the 6 to 9 months when it sat in the bottle and kind of probably married together and had some it was one of the few times I've seen a turn like that. It was so herbally. It really wasn't like a whiskey, to be honest. Like it was. I don't know. It was powerful. It was like your aunt's perfume. I don't know. It was like trying to walk through J.C. Penney's when you're a kid, and it's just like all those scents, like the old lady perfumes mixing together. I couldn't make it. I'd always get nauseous. I got the okay to like go run straight through to the arcade or go around it. Like my mom would go through it. I'm like going out around the side. Like I get nauseous at that smell, and that was the smell and flavor that had developed. It was
like you're at the family reunion, and your mom's like, "You have to hug them all."
No, and then it's left lingering on your shirt and everything.
Yes.
You cannot get away from it.
It gets in your pores.
That's right. It stings the nostrils. You have that at work. You know that lady that comes in that just like douses herself before she goes out for the day.
Yeah.
And it just lingers, man. And there's men that do that too. There's you can smell the Old Spice a mile away.
I got
some of them.
Yeah.
There was
all the canaries in the entrance just dropped dead.
a couple of guys at work a few years ago that just decided to bathe themselves in Axe body spray before coming in. I'm like, number one, there's no women here you need to pick up. Number two, I can smell you coming through the door. You don't need that crap here.
Yeah.
And I agree, Nathan. That's what I've seen from a couple of them. It hasn't been pleasant.
All right.
Emily, yeah.
I'm nosing this now.
So, was it the greatest whiskey review show this week?
Ha, fooled you.
Hey, and I believe we toned down our responses.
So, no, we weren't reviewing Pappy, and we weren't reviewing the 13-year-old Russell's Reserve and all the glorious stuff that everybody's oohing and eyeing over. But let me ask you this question. Did you have a lot of fun tonight?
I did. The first two
watching us drink some shitty whiskey.
First two were great. That's and I like Old Elk. Go get the bourbon. The wheat for me just or cast strength. It was a tater pick, wasn't it? It was the tater hunting edition. So I like that. I don't know.
Talking about old lady perfume.
What?
I've got a little bit of a different glass here, but this is that's kind of what I'm getting on the nose on the dump glass here.
All right, I'm dumping. We're mixing. All right, Kevin's asking winners and losers tonight. I just gave it to you. The first two were winners.
The first two. So the Oak and Eden, that stands out as just a
real surprising.
If you like the classic toasted oaky notes, it's just fun. It's easy sipping. It's a it's kind of one of those what you call a background whiskey. You just want to sit down, nothing complex. Just it's enjoyable. It's good. The Low Gap is almost in that same ballpark. It's very easy. There's some nice flavors and notes. For a white whiskey, you don't often think of that being as one you'd just like to sip, but that one, I'll pour a glass and be happy with that. The rest of them can go to hell.
Because I think the lowland gap or the Low Gap, it took a little more hunting. It was a little more of a progression to find it. It was exciting. And then I really did like the Oak and Eden in general when I first had it. You're all upset about what happened now. Am I missing stuff in the comments?
My big mouth. I don't know.
Oh, what?
Is it what I said, or is it somebody else?
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna overly The Oppidian was okay and could be better, but like I said, I like some other stuff they had that kind of landed in the same way. The Old Elk for me did tonight. Is like I know they have stuff that I like. I've had it. I really enjoyed it, but I don't know what happened. Yes, to that straight wheat. I don't know what happened. Single barrel was okay. I like Ben said, I really enjoyed the first 2/3 of it. The last third, me and it had a tussle. Boone's and I just had a tussle all night, and I was trying to be polite because I went go to the dump glass now. That thing just dominates it. So
there's a
set that shit on fire and throw it because it's just not good. I'm not happy with the dump glass.
It's bad. Ugh. Dirty mud.
It's not the worst. I'll say it's not the worst.
It's got like red hot shaking in it. It's all sorts of not okay.
What was that?
I don't know. It's not. I'm getting water. Fuck that.
It's not the worst blend that I've had that we've done.
No, it's not the worst.
But it got ruined by a couple things. Really ruined it.
For me, it's very. We talked about perfumey earlier. It's very perfumey, and I don't like that at all.
But okay, perfumey for me, but not that thin permeating. It's sweet. So it's like sticky perfume.
This channel, but I'll do. Where is that one?
Sickeningly sweet.
Pat, he's the big spoon. He should be the big screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I already did for this.
There he is. Take another sip. There you go. Chug, 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 chug. You want me to say another? You want me to say another stupid thing?
No, I couldn't tell you what it tasted like until I swallowed because I was laughing and it hurt and it was worse than before. It's in my mouth. God, that ranks up there with some of the worst shit we've ever had. That combo was fucking awful.
We were
straight to shit show.
we were at a dinner and there's a priest there and someone gave us like, oh, here, you should try this. And one of our friends was there, no filter, doesn't care, but I don't think he was thinking at all. And priest is like, oh no, should I drink this? Should I drink this? And he's in the background going, drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker, drink, motherfucker, drink. And then he was like, oh.
I remember that chant. I was in college. I went to a sorority and frat party. So when you said that, that's exactly what I heard. Is like, I remember that shit. This is not
good.
That is like I'm getting not like the longer it goes, I feel like I'm not drinking any more of that. It's not happy. I'm not.
Yeah. It's borderline bad candy.
So this gets back to to Kevin's question earlier.
Fucking
when you've had something this bad that pretty much
not until now
destroys your palate. Maybe it destroys your palate. It just lingers on. What do you do to get over that, to get through that? To move on to something else. And has that, did the experience with the Boones, did that taint our old elk experience?
No, I knew that.
There's taint involved, I'm sure.
Right.
No, I was a little iffy about, so.
I learned to go get something completely and totally other side of the spectrum to drink, like go get a cola, go get coffee, go do something completely and totally different to try to do it.
For me, coffee is something a lot of people, I think for them, coffee may kind of blow out the palate a little bit. For me, coffee is something that kind of resets the palate for me.
I agree. Same thing.
That's why I'm usually having a coffee before every show. Number one, I'm on Eastern time. I'm tired. I've worked all day. I need something to pick me up. Number two, it kind of helps if after dinner and everything else, it resets my palate so I can sit down and really taste these whiskeys good. So
now give me a question. With that coffee for you, are you just black person? Or
just black.
Yeah. See, that's where I think you have it, because other people do coffee and it'll be creamers and all this extra accessory flavors, and I think
they're all wrong.
The palate up. I think maybe I'm just saying like black or like straight up might have just a cleaner feel to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Rather than like sticking around. Now I'm going to go back to the Oppidian right now because we're going to test that after. I'm sorry, I got to do more water. That's just not fair. Oh, that's nice. Never switch to beer. Don't do that. Oh my God. The Oak and Eden after that combo, just bringing it up to my nose, smells like brown sugar sweetness.
Is it like heaven?
Kinda. At first it's almost too much, but then it like settles into like it could be the greatest breakfast topping ever.
all I got to do, it's a quick nose, and I can pick this one out right away, which glass I was using.
Yeah.
It had that sweet toasted oak note.
I don't like that.
You're wrong, John. You're just wrong. Completely wrong. That's how my wife drinks it, and that's wrong.
So then you're not drinking coffee, you're
You're
drinking
not having
accessories.
coffee. Yeah. It's kind of like somebody has a steak and they want to pour some Heinz 57 or some kind of sauce all over a steak. Okay. You don't like steak. You like sauce. So
Wait.
go eat something else.
Time out.
Right?
How was the steak prepared for you? Because there's a point where you've just given up on what happened, and you're like,
now
oh,
that's a different situation. If somebody has turned the steak into shoe leather, and you just got to be able to get that down, I understand that. But
I like that. I like
Emily?
that, Emily. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
that is, yeah.
All right, Kevin. To answer this, I went back to the Oak and Eden afterwards, and it did mute it out. It is, you can taste it's significant better than the blend that I had. But it does leave you lacking.
It is.
I always say water. Sometimes it sounds dumb. A lot of times I'll just eat like a Tostitos chip, like a plain potato chip, or a couple of, not potato chip, but like a Tostitos chip or some really bland, or a cracker. Some just gets a lot of the flavor out, hopefully absorbs it. Doesn't always, though. It doesn't always.
Having the Oak and Eden after all that, and then going back, and because I poured that too, tastes like Michter's American.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
very vanilla-y.
Vanilla
Creamier.
extract, big on the nose, creamier. I get that.
Yeah. Anyway,
for me,
I'm not finishing this blend. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Come on. Wait.
No.
Each of you have to go big, and then you have to finish your blend. Come on, I went back and did it all myself. Come on,
Man.
drink it.
This show sucks.
I know. Tell them
I'm
they
out.
have to do it. Yeah, I'll let you leave. They that goes to show what happened tonight. If they voluntarily leave the show instead of continue to drink, that says something. And you all saw my reaction, so I understand. Oh my god,
Yeah.
This is not good. So Mike, you're up.
Give me a minute. Just
All
give
right.
me a minute.
Okay, I'll give you a minute. I'll put Ben on the spot. We'll move him big screen. See, there you are.
Look, that's I was the guy in class when we had a presentation to do. Teachers asked who wants to go first. Me. Let me get this shit over with. Okay, so here we go. Ugh. That just gets worse the more it sits in the glass.
Shit.
I'm not leaving yet because there's a tail end.
God, it just
He's gonna hurl.
It's the fit. So when we were going back to the Oppidian a minute ago, or not the Oppidian, the Oak and
It's
Eden a
not
minute
done.
ago.
Wait a second. Nathan's right. It's not empty. I saw that glass.
Heck no, it's not empty. I'm not finishing that, man.
Come on, that's just a little bit.
Come on, you have to.
Come
You
on.
have to.
This is a big glass here.
You're a big man.
Not really, but damn you all. God.
Fuck.
There you go, Mike. There you go. I like the aftershock that happened because it's not good for a while.
It wasn't good.
It's not good now, and it's been 3-4 drinks and like 2 waters.
You know what?
And it's still.
You know what? I'll say this blend. We'll dedicate this to our friend Ed.
Yeah.
So glad that he's back, Ed and the lovely Erica. He's taken one for the team repeatedly. So you know what? There we go. All right.
I guess I'll cheers to you.
There's nothing cheerful about
hats
it.
off to his wife, Marge. Those 6 weeks of Trembling Hills. And if you catch that Fletch reference, you're a good guy. But
You can't hide your face with the glass. That's cheating.
it's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year long. That finish just doesn't go away.
Could it though?
No, squirrel.
I've had rough whiskey. I've had cheap whiskey, but there's just something about it. The blend is just like it's just not right. It's like it's just off.
It's torn apart flavors that are just screaming in opposite directions, and just they're not okay. It's horrible. No. It's just.
But this is the kind of shit. If we left it in a glass for a week, who knows? It could be stellar.
Fair.
No.
I'm not going to find out.
But I don't believe you.
No, I don't either.
No.
I just think it's going to become even worse shit.
Basically. Okay, wait. Okay. We've already crossed this line, and we're however long we are into this.
That's right, Kevin. Fred the Dorfman.
Yeah, Fred the Dorf.
That's right, Fred the Dorf.
One of the greatest speeches in movie history.
Oh, beautiful.
That's right, Hugger Cop. I said it.
So we know these aren't sticking around for whiskey of the year. The original, the old Elk Street wheat whiskey.
What are you doing?
There you go.
Some of that in there.
What the hell?
Some of that
Make a slushy.
A little bit here, a little bit of this one. Like how the camera blurred itself out.
Oh, Kevin, you are damn right.
Yep.
Oh, Nathan, yeah, they're gonna love me at work in the morning.
Honestly, Nathan, if the Boones are making cuts like I think they are, then yeah, we could have some headaches in the future.
Okay.
Is there a condom floating your way, Patrick?
The OEW and the HBB are going to be. Yeah, I did. I'm losing to myself tonight, Kevin. I haven't had fun like this in a while. I'm enjoying tonight's stream. So
now we know the sadist that.
Oh my God! This is the worst funk. It's barnyard funk.
I hope this is like Jackass and someone comes around the corner and kicks you in the nuts right when you're drinking it.
Kick me in the jimmy.
All right. I'm doing something, Mike. Hang on a second. This is in honor of the old whiskey tribe days. Okay. So hang on a second. Hang on a second.
I am, but the vapors are strong in this, man.
You got the vapors.
It is it's almost all vapors and funk and not anything else. It's all funk. It is.
What are you doing?
It's all funk. It's Parliament Funkadelic, not in a good way.
Can Ardbeg save the Boones?
And
this is in honor of the cult. In honor of our high priestess and high priest.
Add the weeded man. That's the combo I'm rolling with now.
All right, I'll do it.
I'll join you. What are you doing? What do you have? Supernova?
I poured out the rest of my Boones. I'm adding some of the weeded, and I'm going to add some Ardbeg, and we're going to see if Ardbeg, all you old tribe people that know what's going on here, you know what this is all about.
Oh my God. It's so bad.
All right. I don't have Supernova, but I got Oogie and I got Oogie. I'll try it with Oogie.
Okay. Okay. So all I get on first whiff and all I get on the nose is Ardbeg. That's a good sign.
Okay. All right. Hold on. You guys are doing that.
Well,
I'm going. Wait. I'm going this way for a second. I just did the combo of the two that I disliked the most to see.
And Eli, if you know what we're talking about, Ardbeg does not heal all because it did not heal Canadian Mist. Okay, that's what this is all about, bro.
Before I pour this, I'll throw it in the chat. Should I do Oogie or next one back for me to grab is Wee Beastie? Which one should I do?
I almost grabbed the Wee Beastie. Why don't you try that one?
I'm gonna do Wee Beastie.
I would hate that you'd waste the beauty of Oogie on that.
It was caramely and nice, and then you swallow. The air hits it.
The caramel punched me in the balls.
And then it just turns
Like
like
grabbed and twist.
dead leaves and mulch. Oh, God. Ugh.
Love you, Ed. Oh, I like this.
Hey, it's
Oh, man, you got to try the Beastie.
right
I mean,
now,
it's Supernova. That's
the Supernova's heavy, man. It's dominating on the nose. I'm about to go in. Go in
Sorry.
here. Let's see.
I should have never left with me big
All right.
screen like that.
I'm actually
Ugh.
gonna throw a little bit more of the homegrown on this because I'm curious if it
fudge.
can hold up to the Beastie.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hold on here. You can, yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
all right, this is Ardbeg Supernova. That's with the old elk and the rest of the homegrown Boone's bourbon bullshit. On the nose, the Supernova dominates. It's all you can smell. It's great. You're thinking, oh, this is going to be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I take a sip. It hits my mouth. The tongue, it's like, oh, peat, smoke, Ardbeg. And then all of a sudden, it's like it shifts gears. And here comes the Boones, and here comes the perfume, and here comes just the absolute nasty funk that it is. And it's that same damn finish on your mouth, and it doesn't go away. And the Ardbeg does not heal.
Cool.
This needs the sword, man.
okay.
Where's our high priestess at with the sword?
Hold on. I'm moving.
I have to say,
I'm having
I'm-
a hard time concentrating right now.
I was 50-50 on We Beastie and the homegrown.
Okay.
And then I put a touch more of the homegrown in just because I wanted to see if it would do anything. I like this nose. I'm not gonna lie. The Wee Beastie with that.
The
I
nose,
like it.
the nose with the Supernova smelled fantastic to me. And when it first hit the mouth, it
All
was
right.
this is great. And now it's like, okay, yeah.
We're not even trying to make money or get subs out of this crap. We're just doing this because we're
Right.
dumb.
It's a Monday night.
That's fucking hysterical. He's doing better with it.
Maybe you got to go 50-50 with this.
Yeah,
No,
maybe.
I'm telling you. I mean, no disrespect because I'm a fan. That combination of the Boones and the Wee Beastie, it's Lefroy 10. Do it.
I totally thought how.
Do it.
like, I don't have Wee Beastie here right now.
Ben, you got to do it.
I've already
Dude,
got
if it-
I've already got Supernova in there. I'll just throw some Wee Beastie on top of it. How about that?
Okay.
Oh, you
That
just-
Supernova might throw it off, but
Yeah, that's true, Emily. She does.
wow, Emily. Kind of
See,
turning this into a blue show, aren't we?
See, the
What's
show's
that?
getting a little long for everyone.
What the hell did I do?
Wow. Wow.
You all looking at my ass going
Enjoy
up on
your
the
time in
couch?
hell, potty mouth.
What the hell did I miss?
Emily. Damn. Say
Man.
hello to Satan for
Wow.
us.
Wow.
Emily, I
She's
love
our-
you. You
and she's
never
our-
disappoint.
I know.
You
I
never,
bet she is.
never disappoint. I love you.
Yeah.
And that's why she's our moderator.
If we ever do
We're more
a Whiskey
afraid of
Den
her than
Con,
anybody.
we ever do Whiskey Den Con, it's going to have to be Emily. We just have to know Emily's going to be there. We'll arrange it so Emily is there no matter what.
It'll be outstanding.
And this is by no means that we've had some whiskeys and talking. Emily, I legit would love for you to join us on the show sometime if you ever want
Straight.
to do it. Just I know you love being behind the keyboard and everything else, but you want to come on. We seriously, seriously, Emily,
Mhm.
we do. We love you. We
And-
deeply appreciate
yes.
you on the show. So
And we will not do this to you that we're doing. To ourselves.
No. We'll send you some good stuff.
We've done that in the past.
Yes.
We're usually fairly safe.
Some stuff like this.
All right, where
Right.
where the hell are we at right now? We've had blends. We've done a bunch of stuff.
He's working on adding the wee beastie. What do you think of that?
Finally.
Look, you know what Boone's is? Boone's is like the reverse shocker, man.
No, it's just a.
I did just say that. Damn it!
I'm coming in on a run.
You've seen that. Everybody's seen that meme of the Ewok where it says.
Oh God!
This is bite the pillow. I'm coming in dry, guys. All right.
Over the line.
I can't. I just can't.
I'm crying. I've been really good whiskey, but I haven't laughed this hard in my
In one night, we've single-handedly destroyed all credibility of the show that we ever had.
We never had any credibility.
No, but
Well,
it's
you
all,
know how we did it?
It's all gone now. We just burned that straight down, baby.
Because
We
we
don't have any
because
credibility. We're not covering the latest Elijah Craig barrel proof release.
this was the greatest whiskey show these people have seen this week.
That's right. This is the best sample show you've seen this week. I guarantee it.
That's it right there.
We predicted it. We predicted it.
Best sample show ever, baby. Oh my God! And it's not because of the whiskey. Or maybe it is.
Oh,
Okay, so the Wee Beastie adds. The Wee Beastie makes it a little bit better, Mike. But I still get that freaking perfume on the finish on the back end, and it doesn't go away from me. And I don't like it.
I'm not trying to encourage irresponsibility, but I think you should try the Wee Beastie, just the Wee Beastie and the Boons.
He was making
Because honestly, the notes
I don't have any. I don't have any
glass
Boons
now-
left. All my Boons is in the glass
You're
with the
fucking
globe
liar.
and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll believe you. I guess I could kind of see that it has the high notes in it. I mean, but I don't know where you're getting the medicinal.
Okay. Now, after drinking something deliciously lovely, fantastic, God's gift to us, Pete, what's interesting is normally, you get that because the peat becomes part of you and you become part of the peat. It's not doing that.
I hear you, Yoda.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? It's not doing that. It's like there's a block on there. Because I used to, you have peat, you're like, I've had peat. It's like there's a hint of peat now. But anyway.
There's a hint of peat, but there's a hint of shit too. It's just awful. It's awful, man.
Maybe I'm gonna pour more of this.
So I don't know how much longer we can do this after this. You want to put up the chat for the after show?
I don't know. I'm gonna have a little more Wee Beastie here.
I tell you what, why don't you throw the link out there? And if anybody wants to jump in and join us for the after show, come on, join us for the after show. We'll sit, we'll have some fun. Come on in with us. Let's do it.
It won't be incredibly long.
Let's do it.
We'll hang on.
It won't be. Yeah, it won't be live, but come in with us, chat, have some whiskeys, have some fun. Let's do this.
Facebook. I can't believe they're giving me the finger. I hate.
That's 2 weeks in a row now. Facebook
I know,
is just,
and I updated it. It's not me. It's
right.
it. So there you go. Anyone who wants to hop on, we'll be hopping off here in a minute, but we'll be staying on to have a couple more drinks. Hey, my camera focused on its own. That's nice.
I'll wrap this up for me. We've been doing this with you, Pat, for a little over a year and a half now.
Feels sick.
We've tasted some freaking amazing whiskeys. We've explored some great craft stuff. We've had fun with Scotch and Irish and everything else. But
this is a bad show.
That home No, it's not a bad show. This has been a hell of a lot of fun, I'm sure, especially for people watching. But that Boone's
Homegrown.
homegrown.
Hashtag homegrown.
Homegrown shit.
Yeah,
That's for me, that's probably the worst overall, the worst whiskey we've had on this show so far.
Kevin, no. Damn it, Kevin. No. I honestly, and it's not. And we mostly, almost 99% of the time, talk about craft whiskey. It doesn't mean we don't like anything else. Man, I love me some Scotch. But I'm telling you, this is the most I have enjoyed Wee Beastie on its own ever on a pour. And I don't know if it was just because that blend was so bad it was just such a welcome, refreshing thing. But I mean, this Wee Beastie was always just kind of like a nice little, had some oomph to it. But man, it made Wee Beastie sensual, like Oogie Doll. That's right.
Now I'm wondering who is the real gimp behind Patrick's closet there, Mike.
It's too many hours for me to get there.
There's no way we're gonna do that, Kevin. Frankly, because from what I've had, I'm starting to get a little nauseous.
Bulb deep
right now, to be honest. Oh
yeah. Anyway,
it does hurt so bad. Oh,
that was good.
I need to get some water to get through the end of this. All right.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget to catch up with us Friday evening for our show.
You really want to see
Fred's
Mike
gonna
drunk?
love us. No,
What?
Fred's gonna love us.
Fred does.
I mean, Fred's cool. You gotta love Fred.
So look,
Fred's
if Todd
relaxed.
Leopold is the Fred Rogers of whiskey, who is Fred? Because he's like almost as equally just the nicest guy.
Ooh.
Well, Todd Leopold got it because of his cousins that made that video of the 3-chamber rye still. That was a fucking PBS
his nephews.
special. Nephews,
Right.
PBS special. Don't care what anyone says.
Okay.
They watched PBS. That was just like watching a Fred Rogers, a Mr. Wherever they went to some special event or something.
Yeah.
It was like going on that trip with him. So that's how he got that. But Fred,
I would say he's a good combination of Fred Rogers and Bob Ross in that video.
Yes. Yeah.
And his descriptors and stuff. But yeah. Fred, God, who is Fred?
Fred
are we
is special, man.
Are we sticking with PBS?
Fred,
I don't think we have to.
I will say that Fred got me onto gin.
Yeah.
And I've become a massive gin fan this year, and I love you for that, Fred. I will never forget that because you turned me on to gin.
Okay. Staying on PBS, if we stay on the PBS train, Fred is Rick Steves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Travel guy.
Yep. I can see that.
Oh shit! What's the other guy's name?
Hold
on. I'm going to use the power of the Google. Because there's not, and I don't. Damn it! I wish I could remember his name. Nick Stellino.
Don't know who you're talking
Ever seen
about.
Nick Stellino?
Is he the
not
Italian
familiar
guy? Or
Pull
not
it.
a
You
chef,
can
but-
share it, Pat.
What?
You can share stuff. I can't.
Oh, I'm trying to find Nick Stellino. Huh?
Just because of the stories, Nick tells these stories behind the dishes that he's making, and it's how he does it. And he's got like this little, there's a little Vegas to him, but not like Wayne Newton Vegas. It's just kind of like a little,
Well, I don't know how. Jesus Christ, you're asking a lot after you've been on for 2 hours. God damn it!
I know. So much.
I'm not doing that now. I gotta because I don't know how to do the sample screen and bring that over. I'm not doing that right now. Just go over to PBS. Check out Nick Stellino.
Nick Stellino.
He's an Italian chef, and I have seen him. He is fun. Okay, I'll be honest. I fucking love PBS. I almost love everything. What the fuck, Ben?
There you go.
It's always scary when two people have control of the power.
Yeah, it happens,
Not really, Mark. This is trailing off to the tail end of things right now.
Yeah, I don't think strong is the right word to put on the end of that sentence.
Emily's probably right. Pedialyte Gatorade should be on the
Pedialyte-
docket for tomorrow morning.
Take a couple of Advil and chug a Pedialyte before bed tonight, gentlemen.
And some Ipecac.
There you go.
Revisit the blend.
To answer the chat, I forget who it was. I think it was Eli. I had not spit until that moment. Had not spit until that moment. That was what got me.
I had a nickel for every time you said that.
Just wish you weren't there.
More frat girl jokes. All right.
Okay. You saw the invite in the chat. I don't know if I can do it again. I might be able to.
God.
Let me check this.
Let's end this and let's get some people who want to have a party. We'll have them in the after show. Come
there
on.
it is.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come on in.
Yeah.
We're heading out in a minute. You
Yep.
saw them all here tonight. It was Oppidian 50-50. I think that one was the middle of the road guy of everything we had this evening. You know what I mean? Like maybe
Right.
a little bit above average, but for the way we hit with what we hit tonight. Boone's and the old Elk Straight Wheat were just not.
Mark's complaining about being at work. Mark, you need to talk to your boss.
Yeah. Is his wife the boss? Does he have any control?
Well, yeah, but
I just didn't know. I thought maybe. And then our winners for this evening were Oak and Eden and Low Gap. I'll be honest. I think I like the Oak and Eden the best as far as just in general drinking. Low Gap I found to be the most interesting.
it was fun.
One of the
I
more
wrote
interesting
fun on the
white
label.
dogs. Yeah, one of the more
Yeah.
interesting things there. Here, let's get back to the part where I can close us out for the evening. So remember, Friday night, early 6:00 tomorrow. I will post some of the drinks we're going to be drinking, so you can make them with us. And the most important thing is just that you are drinking with us, not even necessarily that you're drinking the same drinks. Just drink along. It makes it way more fun. So remember that tomorrow morning when you get up, tell all your friends about the best sample kill show this week. I mean, not a doubt, best fucking one you're gonna see.
Hey, you guys! I saw the best sample show last night.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what you should be bringing home to people. So let's get a drink in here. I don't remember what is the fucking horrible one.
We getting off here. I'm going and grabbing a different bottle from somewhere. And
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
All right. So remember, everyone, it's not the size of the den that matters. It's the love of whiskey. And
But not this whiskey.
It's the love of a different whiskey.
That's right. It's a love of whatever.
whiskey.
Good night, people.
Get you
Love
some
you.
strange whiskey.
Into it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.